Okay, so in today's class, I'm going to JavaScript code in header body. Means we can write the JavaScript code in the head section, otherwise body section, or in both sections, head and body. So let us see. So we can place any number of scripts in HTML document. Any number of scripts. I told you that how to keep JavaScript code. The JavaScript code can be kept in script start tag, script end tag. In between this code will be kept. Script tag, end tag. In between this JavaScript code will be inserted. So the JavaScript in HTML document we can keep any number of scripts in one HTML document, any number of scripts. Okay, so that scripts can be placed in the body or in the head section, otherwise in both. Okay, so in head section, let us try to understand how to keep JavaScript code in head section. So first of all, a function that is placed in head section, okay, function already I have briefed that function is a block of code will be executed whenever an event occurs. Okay, so that function will be called whenever we click on a button. Okay, so now this is the code and we will try to practice this code and we will erase the total code from the scratch. Okay, I will erase all the code and we will practice. So this is the document, a document declared with HTML. Okay, HTML header, HTML, that is what start tag. Generally we found after HTML body section we will get body section generally, but here the body section started after the head section. Okay, so first of all we need to understand this. Okay, this is very important point here. So after HTML start tag, generally we start with body start tag, but here started with head start tag, and inside of the head script started with start tag. Inside of that function created, function name is my function, and the script closed. Understood that? Now head closed means the total function created inside of a JavaScript means script start tag end tag. Inside of this function closed, now head closed means the total JavaScript code kept in where? Head section. Next body section started. Here content of head section header, that is h2 is the header start tag. I told you that get element by id, that will be get element by id is a method used to find an HTML element, okay, with the id, demo id. So that a demo id declared in paragraph section. Okay, next what? A button created in where? In the body section. In the body section button created. Okay, that button is what? Button event is what? Whenever we click on that button, so on click. So whenever we click on that button, my function is called. Function is declared in under the head section, under the script start tag end tag. So inside of this function is created, function name is my function. So whenever we click on that event on click, that my function will be called. Okay, that function is created in the script under head section. Understood that? So this is the code we need to practice, because as I told you that what happened, the JavaScript code can be written inside of that can be written, otherwise can be placed, can be inserted can be written, can be placed in the body section or in the head section of HTML page. HTML section, okay, head section of the HTML page. Okay, now let us see, this is the main code. Now let us see what happened. This is the code. So after this is the result, demo JavaScript in head, a paragraph. Whenever we click on this button, paragraph changed. Okay, so button, over that button, content written as try it. So whenever we click on that button, the content changed to paragraph changed. Understood that? So come to this point, how to do it, as I have briefed that. As I have briefed, the JavaScript code can be placed either inside of the head section, otherwise inside of the body section. Here inside of the head section, under the script, so function created, that function is what? Name is my function. So document written for document of which document? HTML document dot get element by ID. That is your JavaScript, mostly used JavaScript HTML method. Okay, that is what get element by ID. So inside of that, ID is, I told you, that an attribute. Inside of that, one parameter passed demo dot inner HTML. Inner HTML, I told you that this is the attribute used to find HTML content and that content to be changed, paragraph changed. The content is this. So this is the function created inside of your script. That script is kept where? Inside of head section. Now head is closed. Okay, under the body, okay, under the body button is created. This is the code. Okay, so now button is equal button type is equal button. Okay, on click my function. So whenever we click on that, whenever we click on that moment, my function to be called. Okay, over the button try it, this content to be displayed. Okay, if you change that, okay, try, only you will see, you will be able to see try. Okay, only try. If we click on this, paragraph changed. Understood this? So now let us see the total code. You click over this total code, select the total code, and you totally remove this code. Okay, and we will try to write the total code from the scratch. So now I want to erase the total code. Now see, there is no code here. Your code window, result window, both are empty. Your code window and the result window, everything is empty here. As I have briefed, I am going to start the code now and try to keep your concentration how I am writing the code. Okay, first of all, let me start with what? This is what, as I told you, that we need to write this exclamation mark and doc type. This doc type means this is to declare document. Okay, HTML. Then after, now this is the HTML5 document declaration. Then after, we need to start with what? One start tag, that is what? HTML. Okay, close. Now this is what? Come down. This is your HTML start tag. Now come down with the HTML close tag. HTML HTML close tag. Now come down next. So what I told, generally what we will write with the body. This is the start tag, body. Generally, and then afterward, body closed with the body end tag. Understood that? Now try to understand what happened here. Now, as I told you that JavaScript code can be placed inside of the head section, otherwise inside a body section, or in both. Okay, as I told you that. So now here, this is the body section. Body started with the body start tag, ended with end tag. Both start tag and end tag called one element, that is called body element. Every element has two tags, start tag, end tag. Now, as per my statement, JavaScript will be kept in either head section, otherwise body section. So we will start first head. This is the head section. This is the head section. So under this head section, once head element started with start tag, that is to be closed with okay. Now understood that. Now head section started with head element start tag, head element started with head section, head element, both are same. So head element started with head start tag and closed with end tag. Now inside of this, we will try to create our script, JavaScript code inside of the script start tag and script close tag. Script close tag. Now this is the structure. Now let us now come to the point. Inside of this script, we will try to write a function. Okay, the function is what? Whenever an event occurs, event is what? Whenever click on over a button. So that function that is written inside of the script, that function to be invoked, that function to be called. So function. So first of all, in JavaScript, the function to be created with a keyword function, name, any name. So my name, your name, XYZ, anything. Wow. So function always having these brackets, parenthesis, then after open bracket, brace, close brace. Inside of this, now see, try to understand that function created inside of the script start tag, script close tag. Understood that? That function name is equal to Vasu. So I told you that function is what? A block of code will be executed whenever we call that function. So whenever we call function name Vasu, this name can be XYZ, your name, my name, anything we can keep. So whatever the code, a block of code means what? Some line of instructions, some line of statements. A block, 10 line, 5 line, 4 line, 2 line of it. It is called a block of code. That block of code will be executed whenever we call the function. So now here, the statements, instructions we need to write. That instructions are what? The statement. Under this function, we will use one method. That method is called what? Get element by ID. Get element by ID, I told you in the previous classes, that is the mostly used JavaScript HTML method, okay, to find the HTML content. How? Document dot, okay, document dot Now get element by id. This is the method. I already method or function both must have what? One open bracket, close bracket. Inside of this we need to pass a parameter. I told you that. I will explain the parameter. After that, dot inner html. I told you that dot inner html, capital letters, inner html. So is equal to, we need to keep inner html. We need to pass a value for this. That is what inner html is. An attribute used to find the html content which is to be changed. Okay, otherwise that html content which is to be displayed. Okay, so here that whatever the content to be changed, we need to pass here. Suppose any content we want to, the previous content to be changed. This is the changed content. This is the changed content. This is the changed content. Okay, so means whenever we click on the button, so whatever the previous content changed as, this is the changed content. Okay, now what happened? Document dot get element by id. Inside of this we need to pass one parameter. That is what generally demo. Generally we write what? Demo. Understood that? Now come here. Now what happened? One function created. Function name is equal to Vasu. So this function name Vasu will be invoked, means called, when an event occurs. That event is what? A button is created. Over that button, if we click this function will be called. So now what I did here, one function created inside of the script, open tag, script, close tag. Now this JavaScript code kept inside of a head element. Understood that? So what I told you, that the JavaScript code can be placed inside of body, either inside of head section, otherwise inside of body section, or in both head section and body section, head and body section. So here the JavaScript code kept inside of head section. Okay, inside of that scripts one function created. Now under the body section we will call that function by what? By creating a button. Here body button is equal to type button is equal to type button. Okay, now it is to be kept. This is the syntax. As per this syntax we need to follow. Okay, now what happened? Try to understand. Here the button is created. Button type is equal to button. Okay, so then after we need to create an event. That event is called whenever we click on that button. So on click, this is the event. So come down here. So on click is what? It is an event. On click is equal to what? So whenever we click on that button, so what happened? That function to be called. What is our function? Our function name is equal to Vasu. So that Vasu function to be called. Okay, understood that? So try to understand what happened. One button created. So button created inside of body. Understood that? Your function created inside of the head section under script, under JavaScript script. Okay, script, already I told you that JavaScript code can be placed inside of the script. Script means script element, one start tag, end tag. Here okay, so now by this method, this get element by id method will find the element, HTML element. Okay, so under that element, whatever the HTML content will be find by inner HTML attribute, so that content will be displayed, otherwise changed. So this is the changed content that will be displayed. Okay, whenever we click on the button type is equal to button, on click Vasu function to be called. Okay, now we need to create a header section. Inside of this, create the header section h1, okay, h2, whatever the section always started with. Okay, this is the header section. Now close with the end tag. Okay, now inside of this, whatever the content that is to be displayed, JavaScript, okay, this content to be displayed as a JavaScript header section. Now I told you that one ID we have, one ID means under the ID attribute, one parameter value demo we have passed. Okay, by this ID, this method will identify the HTML content. So for that we need to create what, under paragraph section, that is under paragraph section, what here inside of this we need to keep what, okay. Now try to understand under this P. Okay, so we need to pass P section, that is called paragraph section, started with start tag, it is closed with end tag. Okay, now come to the point. So under this, what happened, id is equal to what, demo, because here in get element by id we have passed a value that is demo. So here id is equal to, we need to write as it is demo. Understood that? Now what happened, now okay, now understood, try to understand. So inside of this we need to keep some content. That content is what, the content is anything you keep yourself. So that content will be changed as this is the changed content. Here we will write the content. So now this content will be changed to, this is the changed content whenever we click on the button. So button is created over that button. Okay, over that button we can keep, over that button we can keep like what, you know, try it. Yeah, click over this button, click over this, click over this. Click the button, otherwise click the button, click this, otherwise click here. Okay, simply. So now try to understand what is happening. Now this is the head section closed, body, under the body section Okay, one header section. Under the header section, content JavaScript that will be displayed as a header. Under the paragraph section, ID defined as demo, because this ID passed inside of the method get element by ID method. By this method with the ID that HTML content will be identified, and dot inner HTML is to find to change the find the HTML content and to change that HTML content. Okay, as this is the changed content. So generally we will see content here. Okay, now try to understand this button to be closed, button opened with start tag, button to be closed here. Now that is called button to be closed, button, button to be closed. This is what understood that. Now try to understand what happened, whether this code will be executed, otherwise not. So it is not being executed. So mistake, we need to check the code, what the mistake we have. See, we did here. Try to see under this function created in script. Okay, this is what after this dot inner HTML, it is to be closed with the semicolon. Okay, that is the mistake, one mistake. So now then after, see, we are seeing this type of, okay, what is this? JavaScript. The JavaScript is what? That is the header kept inside of the header section. JavaScript. If you write some word JavaScript, if you write code, okay, so whenever you see, you are seeing only JavaScript here. Whenever we click on here, you will be able to see JavaScript code. Understood that? Now the JavaScript code, it is a content written inside of the header section. That header is part of your body section. Now under the paragraph section, ID is declared with a value. ID is an attribute assigned a value demo. Why here this ID? Because this method get element by ID method that will find HTML content, sorry, HTML element. Okay, element with this ID. Okay, ID value passed as attribute demo. Okay, inside of demo is what? One value passed to ID attribute. Okay, now see, here Vasu, the button is created, but over that button we need to see click here. Over this button we need to see click here. So we are not able to see this. Okay, that is what we need to. So generally the function that is to be kept in double quotation marks, double quotation marks. So now see what happened here. Okay, now what happened? This click here. So whenever we click on this button, so event is on click. Whenever we click on that button, this Vasu function will be called. Vasu, under the Vasu function, one method is there. That method, under that method, content to be this content, which is defined inside a paragraph section. This content to be changed to this. This is the changed content. So now let us try to change this. Now see, now this button is here. Over that button we are getting somewhat click here. Okay, now it is indicating us to click over this button. Whenever we click, now whenever I click on this button, the content kept inside of the paragraph section, that is to be changed to this is the changed content. So that is the code we need to do that. Okay, now let us see why whenever I click on this, so nothing is being changed. Okay, that moment. Now what happened, try to see here. Now whenever we click on this button, this is the changed content. So content changed to the content kept inside of your inner HTML. As I told you that this get element by ID method used to find the HTML content with the ID attribute. Okay, that attribute is passed with a value demo. Okay, that ID is declared inside of the paragraph section. By this ID attribute, this method will find an HTML element, and within that element, whatever the content, that content will be displayed and that content will be changed. Actually, the content written inside of this paragraph section is content. That content will be changed to this is the changed content. This is the happened actually. So at the time of you write the code, some points we need to kept in mind. That is what, see, so this, if you write this id is equal demo, this symbol, if you keep here, what happens, try to see here. So that moment, so because now this id is equal demo content, this becomes what, content. So only that content will be displayed, because you have written id is equal demo content, it becomes a content that is written inside of the paragraph section, inside of start tag and end tag. So here you will get only, it is a content. Okay, now whenever you click here, you see this as a content. So that moment you need to keep in mind, very important. Now content, whatever the content to be displayed, that is to be kept like this. Understood that? So what happened now, id is equal demo, this id attribute passed with demo value, that is to be kept inside of start tag. Inside of start tag, the content to be kept inside of the start tag and end tag. In between that content to be, content means the matter whatever to be displayed. Understood that? Now if you run this code, so see here, now the content, here we are looking content. If you write any content, whatever the content, any content, okay, now you will be able to see any content. Whenever you run this code, you will be able to see any content. Now whenever you click on this, try it, because the content I have kept, try it. Now if I click over try it, okay, on this button, the button is what, button created, because button type is equal to button. So on click is an event. Whenever I click on this button, that is an event. So that moment Vasu function will be called, invoked. So Vasu function created where, inside of the script. Okay, inside of function name is Vasu with the keyword function created. Within this function, that get element by id is mostly used JavaScript HTML method used to find out HTML element, not content. By that element, by dot inner HTML is an attribute used to find the content of HTML element. Either the content will be changed or displayed. Now this is the changed content. This text to be displayed whenever we click on this button. So whenever I click on this button, try it, now content to be changed, this is the changed content. So the very simple to understand. So point is that here, while you are writing the code, some points to be kept in mind. As I told you that this, any content that is to be kept inside of that start tag and end tag, and id attribute that is to be written inside of the start tag. So button type attribute, for the type attribute we need to pass the button, that is to be kept in double quotation mark. If you keep in single quotation marks, let us try to understand what happened here. Okay, now try to understand. If you write this, what happened here, if you now, so what happened, button, that button that can be written in double quotation marks and single quotation mark, no matter. So what about that function, that whether it is to be kept in double quotation or single quotation marks? Try keep in single quotation marks. What happened? Now run this code, still you are getting. So Vasu, that function, it is to be kept in double quotation, single, double, no any matter. So next, whenever you are calling that function, where is that function? Vasu function I have called. that function either can be kept in double quotation single, it doesn't matter, button double quotation single quote no any matter, but you have declared, you have that demo for the id attribute you have passed a value demo. If you keep this single quotation or double quotation marks, what happen here? Because in the method you have passed the value as demo in double quotation marks, in paragraph section you have passed the value as demo in single quotation marks, then what happen? Whether it will be okay, there is no any problem. Okay, now come down point. Now if this is parameter, if you change this parameter to somewhat any another dem de, and you have changed this to de, then there any problem here? No any problem. Understood that? So this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing we did here. So here the class is that in JavaScript the summary is what you know. In JavaScript, the script in the document, we can keep any number of scripts inside of script tags, and the script JavaScript code can be placed inside of either the body section, otherwise the head section, and otherwise in both sections. So initially we have started with head section. Inside of the JavaScript code has been kept in script tags, then after script closed, head closed, then body section started. Inside of the body section your header is started with JavaScript, and paragraph section inside of that, okay, one id attribute passed with a value, because that id, this is very important. By this id, this method get element by id method, which is the mostly used HTML JavaScript method used to find HTML content, and inner HTML attribute used to change the content. Okay, this is the changed content. Okay, understood that? I hope that this lesson is very useful to you, and whatever I have briefed you I hope that you understood very well. If you have any comments, please comment to my phone number 9110398650. Thank you, have a nice day. And next class I will try to write the code in body section. Okay, in the body section. Initially I started to write the code in head section. Okay, now I will try to write the code in the body section, and we will discuss what will be the result. Okay, we will check it. Okay, now